Hello. So this is a little walk around video of my Noble M12 3R. A little bit of a special one. This is the only one in existence ever made out of the factory with Jaguar champagne gold. Really nice colour. It's almost like a goldy silver. It's really pretty in the flesh. This is a special one. So Peter Dibble, who owned Noble Motorsport, he made all of the engines for all of the cars. This was his personal car, and he made a special engine for this one. The story goes that Lee Noble wanted a bit more power for the M400. He made this engine. He was looking at 425 brake horsepower, and he actually got 500. So he was very happy with that. And they actually detuned the M400s, or didn't mod them quite as much. And that's what was in the car. And then this one would have been the M500, but they never made the M500. So it's got forged pistons in it, a few extra bits, so cams, springs, valve springs, injectors, things like the M400 timing mod. They're all run on the M400s now. I think it's got the second edition of the MBE. Not entirely too sure, but definitely an MBE system. So down here we've got, this is a jumper, so if the battery ever goes flat you can just connect it because it's buried down the footwell, all heat insulated. The air filters on both sides, they're normally mounted here. If we move to the bulkhead you get a bit more whoosh turbo noise and everything. You can see all the heat materials all been replaced. You've got a Noble Motorsport full stainless steel system. It's got flexi sections on it, which means that the exhaust can move a little bit. It's mounted on rubbers, as you can see here, but it can also move a little bit, and it just takes off any stress you get off the manifolds, which can crack in some cars. Pro alloy oil water separator, I've talked about that before. If you're going to buy a Noble, buy one of these. The originals are made of steel and they rust, and it will dump a load of rubbish into your turbos. Blow your turbos out. Whilst talking about turbos, T28 Garrett turbos, again same as the M400, a bigger turbo than a standard 3R, bit more power. All the wheels in the car have been fully refurbished quite recently. We've got a carbon fibre door handle. Let's have a little look inside. M400 Alcantara interior with all the pads, door cards, beautiful quilted roof, and obviously all the roll cage is all trimmed as well. Carbon fibre panel, centre panel there. And what else is there? That's about it really. It's got about 24,000 miles on the clock, just a smidge under at the moment. The other wheel. Carbon fibre infill spats, they improve stability on the front end. Braking system, all the lines brand new Earls with titanium connectors, and again this is an M400 mod that they did in the M400, and you get it stops. The originals are this like flexi braid, and after a while sometimes they could just expand a little bit, so they modified it and put steel lines throughout. That was done relatively recently by Dave at DTB Motorsport. A pro alloy radiator at the front with the twin spool fans. This is a aluminium fan blower unit. So in there, I think the original was out of an Escort or something, so it's had a brand new SPAL unit in it, so it just spins a bit more air into the cabin, so it will heat up and cool down a bit quicker. Quick little shot of the front. There's a couple of little stone chips on it, but it's in pretty good condition compared to some of the others. We've obviously got this condenser dryer for the aircon. All the hoses have been replaced, silicone hoses everywhere. Not sure what else I could show you down here. That's about it. So look at the side of the car. Let's have a quick look at the inside of this one. Squeaking, a bit of grease on the door. And cockpit there. It's a really nice cabin. Lots of space behind the seats. The seats will move. Let's do it. Hang on, bear with me. So the seat will move really far out, and you've got a massive amount of space. You can get some bags in there, and the seats have been actually moved forward to generate. They don't normally get that much space in most cars. So let's have a look at the back, rear wheel. You can see all the heat insulation's all been replaced, exhaust wraps all been done. Right, gearbox. Weak point on the Nobles is the 5th gear in the gearbox. All resolved with this one. So if you're ever thinking about doing any track days or anything else like that, this is the one that you want to do. So done by Gearbox Man. It's quite an expensive mod. Take the gearbox out, and they shot and peen the gears, drill a hole. They do a whole host of things actually, but they drill a hole in the top here. Just about to make that out. So that's one of the return lines for the oil. And the bottom one, let's see if I can get the camera in. There we go. Just about make out the bottom one that comes out there, which feeds into this Mocal system. This is an oil water system, so the water goes this way, oil goes this way, and when the water warms up, it puts the heat from the water into the oil, which warms the gearbox up, and when the oil gets hot, it puts the hot oil into the water down to that lovely big radiator out the front, and that's got 2 big fans on it, which cools the gearbox. So it means you can heat and cool your gearbox while the car is not moving. It's a really, really good system. It's actually quite small, very light, but it's massively efficient. It's really, really good. So under here, we've got a Mocal oil pump, and then that pumps the oil around the system, which means you haven't just got a small amount of oil just sitting here. You've now got a large channel of oil all circulating, keeping your gearbox nice and cool. A 2-pump Bosch, I think they're 044 pumps, I think they are in there. You've got an out at the bottom of the fuel tank, it goes to a 10 outlet into a fuel filter, then into the 2 pumps, down to a 6 to get the pressure up, and then into the pressure regulator, and then into the fuel line there. And it works really well. I think that's about it around the back here. Have a quick look at the rear clip. So there we go. I hope you've enjoyed this short little video on the car.